Hey guys, I'm making this video about the Airforce air guns because when I got ready to buy one, there wasn't enough information for me about you could get the information about the feet per second and things of that nature, pretty tight group. But I wanted to try the 177 Talon SS, and I couldn't find anybody to tell me what the right pellet was for it and things of that nature. There wasn't enough information on the 177. So I went ahead and got it, and it's great. Incredible groups. I can't brag on it enough. I've owned powder burners all my life, and the accuracy of this thing is just incredible. And to save you some money, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the pellet is it likes. I put $80 worth of pellets through this gun. Spent a lot of time figuring it out. And the Premier 177 Hollow Point turned out to be the best. Tight groups. Love it. The only problem I had seen before I bought mine, people were complaining if you ran it off of CO2, they would say the valve stopped working, started leaking, they lost all their CO2. And this was complaint after complaint. I kept reading all the reviews, and I thought, man, I don't even know if I want a chance buying one of these valves. But anyway, I bought one. Yes, it happened to me. Mine started leaking. I can tell you why mine did. Of course, they said you can get a 88 gram tube and run it off it if you want to. Well, what happens, of course, you got to have the adapter to do it, but what happens is when it pokes that hole in the end of that debris, from poking that hole, that debris gets in here, and it made its way to that valve, and it hung that valve open. And I started firing the gun one after the other, trying to get it to stop leaking. Of course, I was making it worse because I was beating that little piece of debris into that soft seal. So anyway, I lost a tube of it, and this is really not the way to go. If you want to go ahead and break that seal and take something and hit that valve several times and hope you get it out of there, you might be alright. But anyway, these valves do stop working. They can leak, but they're very easy to fix. I'm about to show you. I got some snap ring pliers from my auto dealer, and turns out I didn't need them. This is not very tight at all. All you gotta do is get anything that'll go down in there, and it just came right loose. It don't have to be tight. As long as it's in place, the pressure keeps the seal pushed into place, so it really doesn't have to be tight. So anyway, even if you use a screwdriver to lightly hit that on one side and break it loose, just be careful don't scratch any of this area right here. The least little scratch will let you leak when you fire, and you'll lose a little bit of feet per second. But anyway, mine started leaking, and I took it apart, and there is an O-ring in there. Don't lose that. And here is the valve. Oh, and there's I forgot to. There's a spring in there too. Don't lose that. No need to take all this apart. It'll come apart, but there's no need in it. You got what you need right here. That spring keeps this valve pushed into place. And as you can see, that's how it works. And the air makes its way in here. And all you got to do, of course mine, I could see where that little piece of debris was in between this funnel shaped valve, and it was holding it open just a little bit. And by the time I got through firing it, it had beat its way into this material right here. That material's got to be hard enough to take all that pressure and beating, but it's got to be soft enough to seal against that lip. So what I did, this right here will come off. Just pull it right off. It's just pressed on. Then you can take this out, and there is an O-ring right up in here. and that's just to keep it sealed while it's firing. It won't fall out, but don't keep your eye on it, don't lose it just in case. But anyway, pull this off, take the stem out, get you some triple aught steel wool. It's very, very soft steel wool. It's decibel 000. You can get that hardware store. Put it in this cavity right here. Put this valve, this black part, in your drill. Push it down against the steel wool and spin it up fairly fast. Try to keep it straight up and down. Don't be moving around. And it'll seat itself back. Be sure and clean it real good, and there'll be little pieces of debris from that steel wool in there. Be sure and clean it out real good. Put it back together, and it still may leak just a hair, but at least you've got it to the point that you can finish sealing it. Once you put your CO2 back on it, get it pressurized, hit this with a piece of wood or something soft, and it's going to be loud. Wear some glasses, and what that'll do, when you get through hitting that, it's going to, when you pull that piece of wood back, it's going to slam that valve back open with such a force that it's going to finish seating that for you. It's been 2 or 3 months since I fixed this one, and ain't had no trouble. I've run several bottles of CO2 through it. No leaks. But if it does leak, it's easy to fix. There's nothing to it. And I'm pretty sure this is the same valve that's in the Condor, so if you have a lesser powered Airforce gun, like the Talon SS, see the difference? Hop it up. There's your hop up right there. If you've got a CO2, just make sure you get it fixed and make sure it ain't leaking before you put it on there, especially if you use a bicycle pump it up with. You know how much trouble that is. But there's your hop up right there. So anyway, you can fix it. It's easy to fix. And make sure it's clean. And put it right back in. And take something and stick in there and take it all the way to the bottom. Don't have to be tight, it just needs to be in place. Because the pressure will push that seal into place. So anyway, mine's fixed. I'm ready to go. I think it's R&L Airguns that makes the silencers, muzzle brake for these guns. And I got one for the Condor. It comes with a steel sleeve that's fairly thick, got a couple of pinch bolts in it, if you know what I mean, that goes over the barrel, hangs on here, and this outer shroud screws down over it. And even though I put this steel ring as far back as I could get it, like the book said, I still had baffles that were flopping around. They liked about a ½ inch touching. I don't know if they intended for that to happen or not, but I didn't intend for it to, so I didn't want them to flopping around. So I took me a piece of PVC pipe, made me a spacer, and that keeps those baffles. There's about 4 or 5 of them in there. And I can feel it touch when I get about a couple of millimeters from the bottom, so I know that that's tight, but it's not warping them. And they work great. This is the 24-inch barrel, 22. The barrel actually stops about right here. The rest of it's silencer, muzzle brake, and works really, really good. I added a lot of weight to the gun. I didn't like that, but it does what it's supposed to do. And then there's one for the Talon. I got one for the Talon SS. This is the 177. It's incredibly accurate. Both of them are. Oh, I meant to tell you on the 22 Condor, this is the pellet. It'll shoot some others pretty good, but this is the pellet. It's very accurate, and it's heavy enough to do whatever you're going to do. Not a hollow point, don't have to be. It's a little bit soft. It's hard, and it's very accurate. Accuracy is what I like. But anyway, I got this silencer for this one, and as well, it had just a little bit of play in those baffles. They were flopping up and down. So I took a O-ring, very thin O-ring, and laid down in there. And now when I screw this down, I can feel it touch just before it gets to the bottom right there, and keeps all those baffles tight. Whether that's important or not, I don't know. Apparently the manufacturer don't mind them flopping around in there, but I do. And it didn't say to put this screw back in, but I did. I want that solid, and I tightened it down to hold it in there. If I were to loosen that, I could just unscrew this, and this whole silencer would come out. It's got about 5 baffles in it. I think it's R&L Airguns that makes these. Quick shipping, got it quick. Works really, really good. Very quiet. But anyway, the main thing is I just wanted you to know that if you got one of these and it don't work, the CO2 adapter, it is easy to take apart. You can fix it, and fix it.